right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Shinsekai Yori, episode 5. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, we are in a world of madness and nightmares.
Yep.
And one just popped, not yet necessarily,
right.
but popped up into their path after... Our psychic guide just unleashed death upon them.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, oh yeah, madness and chaos and... Oh wait, are you talking about the dog thing? Or are you talking about the guy that just tornado wiped out, like, who knows how many people? Yeah.
I mean
it's
monster
okay.
Rats. They're monster rats, you know.
Yeah,
they're not people.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Yeah, I think we're ready. I think this will be just a rather chill, relaxing episode where we get to have a little bit of time to get to know how children respond to violence, death, and traumatic experience.
Exactly.
And, it's going to make them want to trust and, talk to the adults in their life a lot and process all this stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And not just become insular and rely on each other and then eventually, tear each other apart.
That won't happen.
That won't happen. Totally not. No. Mm-mm. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. All right, I have basically put my brain into the defense mode of like...
Just set it in a jar and...
It's over there. It can't be hurt, can't be harmed. It's okay.
All right.
So, guys, this is the episode where they basically said, "Hey, you know how when you're afraid for your survival, things that are like extraneous senses and all that just don't seem to matter.
Right.
You're just focused on surviving. That's it. This episode captured a sense of that in a way that was so visceral and unsettling that I had a survival instinct almost kick in a little bit.
Oh yeah, I my body was shivers like the entire time. Like I cannot imagine what this show would be like on acid. This episode in particular, like that, like
I don't know why you thought about acid.
With just the trippy like colors and all that stuff, and like I don't know, like.
So, with the episode being something that was in of itself a trip, the actual stuff to discuss is actually quite scant, I would say.
Sure.
The biggest thing is that they split up. But Satoru ignored the instructions and followed after Saki because he likes her.
Right. Okay, cool.
Obviously, makes sense.
Yeah.
Shun was able to understand that we're in a situation where we're actually going to end up, and this is something that's kind of cold, but it's intelligent. They'll tell you often in stories, you never split the party. But the reason for that is not actually because of survival. It's because of, stragglers get picked off. But if you think about it from the standpoint of if all of you are going to die,
then splitting up is
the absolute best thing you can do, because then maybe at least
survives.
One person survives.
Yep.
And it's if you're getting chased by a bear, hope that the person with you is slower than you.
Right.
So that the bear gets bored of chasing, multiple targets and just goes after the person that's slower. And it's the cruel reality of survival in this case that Shun basically was like,
that's what we got to do.
That's what we have to do. We're just going to have to hope they only go for one of us. That's the best case scenario we have right now. I love the brutality of it.
Yes. That is a great word for it. It also does a wonderful thing for the narrative, because it thoroughly centers the established status quo, right?
Completely.
Like we already kind of had that.
We had it done by exposition.
We had it done by exposition, by the arrival of the psychic guy and everything. Like they cannot go back to the way things were, right?
Nope.
But there could be there can be security and safety in numbers, right? Hey, as long as they're all together, it'll be fine, right?
But you don't have power.
But you don't have power right now. Oh, and also now you're separated, right? So that way we can have the sort of an effect of some of the effects that we'll have when / if some of these kids end up dying before they actually die, right? Because it's just, okay, it's you two.
The terror of being alone.
Yep, exactly, right. And he ended up going after you because he likes you. Okay, cool. And that's how you can have her not be entirely by herself, right?
Yeah.
And so you can have some still like some character interactions and things like that as they try and grapple with whatever the hell is going on. But no, like they would be as terrified as they probably are of the society that they were brought up in. They probably would be overjoyed if they got the opportunity to return that to that society now, because
Overjoyed, yeah.
because for all they know, they're gonna get eaten or melted or used for manure or whatever, in this crazy world that's out here that they have now walked into.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's the story.
Yep.
We've gone from high concept philosophical storytelling to Lord of the Flies.
like-
There's something else out there. It eats us. We're no longer the apex predators. There are those that still worship us as gods, given the world building that's been established before this. And I liked how they had little bits of that world building end up coming out and affecting certain aspects of their interactions with different monster rats. Some monster rats were very aggressive, very simplistic in their logic and critical thinking. One could speak their language,
Right.
and ended up also translating for them what they were saying to their queen.
Yep. Like, and yet
cool.
the whole thing of the no one can understand the monster rats, right? That's a previous thing that they believed. The fact that that is something that has now been showcased to be wrong is so small and insignificant in the grand scheme of things compared to all the other stuff that they're needing to deal with, and the just let's hope we don't die, moment to moment. They don't even have time to think about that, right?
Nope.
Because it's just okay. All right, we're in a situation where the one that's translating for the queen because he messes something up, maybe will end up getting eaten,
Right.
right? Like that's the person that you're serving.
Right.
And how much worse will be the stuff that will happen, if the people that don't like you get to you.
Yeah.
So-
and then the ways in which they've so far, without using power, just being a little bit clever, have killed many of them. To the point where, from the monster rat's perspective, they're fighting against wild gods that are out and about in their territory, wreaking havoc.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know why they're there. They're probably terrified of them.
Yep.
And are chasing after them with a vengeance.
Desperate vengeance.
You either need to get out of here, and we will kill as we will sacrifice as many of ours as we need to get you out of there, or we are going to kill you because this is a rare chance.
Because they did manage to kill the one psychic, right, who had all his powers and everything. Because hey, I guess if there's hundreds or 1,000 of them, right? Well, maybe he can't quite kill all of them before some explosive dog with
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
So one of the things that the kids kind of mentioned is, how would an animal like this or a creature like this evolve to kill?
Right.
Now, here's the thing that I think is rather fucked up about this. The bones are literal, like, large-sized shuriken, basically.
Yep.
Like spinning disc weapons.
like weaponized shrapnel, not
really
accidental
weaponized
shrapnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the beings themselves were absolutely made by psychics. There is no logic to their
Right.
evolution, if that makes sense. They were absolutely designed creatures, and their existence is probably a form of suffering.
Oh, I can imagine.
Not just because, if you want to get philosophical, all existence is suffering.
Yeah, life
but
is pain, highness.
Life is pain, highness. Yeah, exactly. But no. Their existence is a pure form of suffering.
All those bones were
bones,
inside them. How do you move around when you've got that shit in you? Like,
Right. And then the almost thing of it where it happened almost again with one of them, that they put the fake egg in and it blew up. And it basically, when it blew up, it caused the same effect that the
the dog made.
the dog
Yeah,
one that had the balloon.
I adore how this show doesn't shy away from the realistically graphic violence that would happen if you had situations like you have in this fantastical setting, but in a both clever way to censor in a way, but then also to make it even more terrifying. you don't actually show the
see
thing
it.
that's happening, right?
Right. Because the kid's constantly looking away. They
right,
don't
right,
wanna
exactly.
have to
How
see
in the
that.
fuck do you rationalize that? How do you process that, right?
Nothing that could sequestering it,
right.
and not wanting to remember it. Yeah.
Nothing that could be shown on screen to us would elicit the same feelings because it's through the medium of a screen than it would to a person who's physically there and is seeing it right in front of their face. Right? You just don't
You can't do that.
you can't do that, right?
You come close maybe, but still.
Right.
Not even.
So instead you get the audience by what's not there.
Right. Yeah.
And
And a lot of their lives has been kind of that slight little bit of wonder and curiosity of what they're not seeing.
Right.
And so now that they're seeing, they're wanting anything but seeing. They're like,
Yeah.
please, I don't want to see this anymore. Please, I want to look away.
Yep.
And they can't. The horrors of this world are written plain all about them. And then there's the obvious way in which the episode could come all the way back around to being philosophical, is that they're referred to as gods, meaning this is your world. You made us this way.
Right.
We understand. You're here to bring about the divine judgment. This is fate. You're here to save us. We understand.
You're going to kill the other tribe for us, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then, no, Satoru ignites the fuel of the gas or whatever, immolating anything in the colony.
Yep.
So the queen's probably dead. The attackers are dead.
Right. Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
Except maybe whatever this egg thing or whatever is that was above them, and then also maybe
you
new
wanna
stuff
know,
that
you
goes
wanna know
into the
what
tunnels.
That probably is, right?
What?
They're just in a tunnel underneath the queen. The queen's above them.
Oh, that
And
could be
it's
it.
not that the queen is alive, but the queen could be dead. And then you poke up into her corpse, and then just eggs and nasty larvae and shit
One of the things
pile out.
that makes this so unnerving for me is the fact that the world does seem to really make sense.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Like it's not
it's madness.
it's not 100% Alice in Wonderland, right?
No. It's madness by design.
It's madness by design, right? You're not just gonna see some random thing and be like, why is that like that?
Right. Well, our perspective is limited because the kids' perspective is limited.
The kids' perspective is limited, and yet there is a rhyme and a reason to the madness that is still evident through all the crazy stuff that happens. And that just, I don't know, that makes it seem so much more
grotesque
and dark, because anyone could just make up a world where everything's horrible, right? Everything's disgusting and awful and all that stuff. But then that would start losing a bit of its effect, right? Yeah. But when you can see, oh no, someone at one point thought that those balloon dogs were a good idea, Yeah,
there's a sickeningly human taint over this world that I think we are almost forced to look for because of the way the world building was established in the beginning of the show.
We see the roots of it in all the times in which these kids, for their own survival, end up killing things in pretty horrific ways.
Right.
Because, we need to survive. We got to get out of here,
Yeah. So, not really much more to say about the show other than shit's fucked, y'all. And
I wonder what the other three are up to right now.
I would love it, actually, if they all three end up coming into the path of Saki and Satoru over the course of them trying to get away. And if they each kind of succumb to a different kind of madness.
Right. Like, what's
there's
their
something
name?
There's something allegorical about this story that's almost like I kind of want to forget that I'm seeing it that way and kind of take the story a little bit more at face value.
Like if you were to have that cliche anime line of some character being like, "Is this hell?" It's like, "Oh, haha, wink at the screen,"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's some allegory here that is a bit too on the nose for my taste, but because of the way they're artistically exploring this visceral emotion that all just the two kids here are experiencing, it keeps it also, like my sanity, sequestered away and safe. But every once in a while I'm probably just gonna break open that allegory glass jar and be like, so you guys see the writing on the wall, right, for this, right? The commentary on humans and all this other stuff,
society
here.
And all that stuff.
Yeah. You can get some pretty interesting things there. But I feel like this episode, because it also doesn't end in a satisfying complete package. It's
Right, we're
basically
still
saying
in the
we're
middle
still
of
in
the
the
shit.
arc of the
Yeah.
get through the forest. There's
Yeah.
I even just sorry.
Yeah, straight up. All right, we're
Just-
Attack on Titan now. Yeah, we need to escape the forest.
I mean,
yeah.
no, there's Attack on Titan was referencing other stuff too.
Oh,
but,
sure,
but
yeah. Uh-huh.
Right.
this
The
came
myth
before
of the
Attack on Titan and
forest
all
and the
that
kids and the
Totally.
beyond and growing up and
Oh, no,
all
you
this other
go
stuff.
outside
and we're not
into-
even talking about the fact that there was the really uncomfortable scene of the sexual intimacy and stuff where it's just like, oh,
Right.
cool, censoring, nice, I appreciate that.
Well, and also like there was a part of me that wasn't sure how much of it was censoring and how much of it was oh wait, they didn't actually end up going very far because
didn't.
there's a guard there, or
no,
whatever.
I think that was with him specifically,
Oh,
with her touching him.
right.
Him touching her, I think she experienced a couple other things. That's why she kind of went like, oh, this is happening. Yeah.
Well,
so
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode was uncomfortable. It was unnerving. We have ourselves a new status quo in that there is no status quo
Right.
of the old, and thus in some ways it actually makes these episodes kind of like this type of thing like easy to digest, I would say.
Right, because
Because you don't have to digest all of it.
because it's easy to digest in the same way that the path forward for these two is very simple.
Yes.
Survive.
Don't die.
Don't die. Anything else that happens, as long as you survive, that it's
Right.
still a
It's
good
all-
day.
It's all, yeah.
Because there will be another one. Yeah.
So,
Oh,
wish
boy.
us luck.
Yeah.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below. For our Patreon, you can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We do streams every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.